Hello friends, myself Reshma welcomes you to the next session of database management system. So in this session, I'll discuss with you about relational data model. The concept of data model we have already discussed in the previous session, and in this session a special type of data model which is most famous and it will be used by the majority of commercial database in the real world. So will be discussed here. So the most famous data model used for commercial purpose is the relational data model. And why this relational data model is so famous? It is because of its simplicity. So here relational data model is very simple but effective data model. And it has a capability to handle the data in the best possible way. And as the name indicates, the relational data model represents this is just a collection of relations. So here relation means it is similar to a table. Relation means a table of values. So where the table contains the rows and columns with a set of valid data. So now here the components of relational data model can be related with the table which will be used to solve some mathematical expressions. So now we see how the table and relation can be interrelated. So here I have four components of the relational model. So first is the relation. So now this relation it is similar to a table. Then next term is attribute. Attribute is resembling with the column headings of a table, and tuple is each row of a table, and domain of a relation is the values or value set of a table. So now the diagrammatical representation of a relation is like this. So now here I have a relation, that is relation variable indicates a table name, and name of this table is here R, and it contains set of attributes A1 to AN. So that is the attributes are the columns which represent headings for the table, and the domain is the value which we need to enter into the body part of a table, and each row here indicates a tuple. So here we have relation name, headings as attribute names, and tuples each row with values, and value is a domain. Then how to enter the value? What type of value we need to enter for this? So here I have an example for a customer table which has three columns, three attributes as headings: customer ID, customer name, and customer status. And we have three columns which indicates degree of this relation, degree of a table as 3. Then I have 3 rows which indicate there are 3 tuples. So the cardinality of this relation is 3. So now in this example, name of the table is member, 3 attributes and 5 columns. So degree of this table is 3. Cardinality of this table or relation is 5. So now we got the meaning of a table, attribute, and a tuple. So now this table contains a set of valid data, that is a set of domain. Then what type of data we should enter? For that we need to follow some conditions to enter the data that will be explained here with the help of a domain. So domain is a set of atomic values. So the value should be atomic, means each value in the domain should be indivisible. means it can't be complex or composite. It cannot be a multi-valued. So the meaning of the attributes we have already discussed in previous sessions. So here the atomic means it should be indivisible and simple value should be entered in the domain. And again, to specify a domain, we need to follow a method where we need to specify name of the domain, data type of the domain, and constraints for the domain. Here there are a set of examples which shows some domains and possible type of constraints. For example, if I take salary, domain name should be given as salary. Then you need to specify the data type. So let us specify data type as an integer. Then the constraint should be given in the domain definition, like you can enter the range. Here we have given like 6,000 up to 40,000. Then we can specify some condition. The salary should be between 6,000 to 40,000, or it should be with maximum of 7 digits. So like this, we have to specify some condition. Similarly, if I want to enter the domain value for date, then again it should follow some format like 2-digit date, 3-digit month character, then 4-digit year. Then similarly, if I want to enter semester for engineering student, then semester should be between 1 and 8. It should be an integer. If I want to enter USN number for engineering student, it should be of type string, which contains both alphabets and numbers like 1GA 19CS001, which is the mixture of digits and the character. So we can enter the character. Again, we have to give some constraint. If I take the mobile number, again to enter the mobile number, we need to follow some constraint. First 2 digits, country code. Then next 3 digits, code for the subscribers. Then remaining the phone number, unique phone number. So like this, whenever we are entering some values for the domains, we should keep in mind that value should be simple, that is atomic, that is indivisible, and it should come under specific data type which is given, and the value should be between the range or the condition which is satisfying that particular domain. So like this, we need to enter the domain values for each attribute. So then based on this relation, we can give some structure for the relation. So that is the relation schema. Relation schema gives the structure for relational data model, and the structure is in this form. So where we need to write name of the relation or followed by a set of attributes A1 to AN. So where R is the relation name, A1 to AN are the list of attributes. So any relation in the relational data model should be represented in this format. For example, to indicate employee relation, we can represent this as employee, open the parenthesis, and list down all the attributes of the employee relation. So like name of the employee, SSN of employee, address of employee, phone number of employee, salary of the employee. So like this we need to represent. So that is a relation schema. So sometimes we can represent relation schema along with the name of the attributes. We can specify the data types also. We can specify the constraints also. So which will give the logical structure of that particular relation. So then next is domain for each attribute. Whenever we are giving the domains for the relation, we need to specify domains for each attribute. For example, here If I take attribute age, then domain of age should be again specified separately. So like for example here, whenever we are entering the domain value, we need to check the condition. For example, here condition is the age should be greater than 18 and it should be an integer. So now whenever you are entering the value, that we have to keep in mind that the value should be an integer and we need to enter minimum 19. It should be greater than the value 18. That should be checked. Similarly, if you want to check it for marks, again it should be an integer. Maximum for subject wise, it should be 3-digit number. Similarly, for name, ID, we need to use the respective domain constraint. So next, the degree of a relation. Degree of a relation indicates number of columns in that particular relation. For example, here degree of this relation is 5 because we have 5 columns. The degree is also referred as arity. So then next, relation state. So after entering the values or domain values for a relation, at particular amount of time, we can find the state of that particular relation. Then how to find the state of a relation? State of a relation is defined as subset of Cartesian product of all the domains. For example, if I have n attributes a1, a2, a3 up to en, then relation state R of R is subset of Cartesian product of domain of A1 with domain of A2. Then again apply Cartesian product with domain of A3. So like this we need to continue finding the Cartesian product for all the attributes. So then we'll get a set of attributes which is the result of Cartesian product. From that result, according to our requirement, we can extract some values that is the subset of that Cartesian product. Then that subset represent state of a relation, that is a relation state. For example, if I take this relation, so in this relation we have 5 attributes: SID, name, login, age and GPA. So now to find a particular state of this relation, so whatever the value we are indicating in this table, this is one state. How we have extracted this state? The state can be extracted by performing Cartesian product. First we need to find cardinality of the relation, which is the mod of domain of A1, domain of SID, cross product domain of name, cross product domain of login into domain of age into domain of GPA. Find the cardinality of this. That is total number of tuples in the Cartesian product. Now it becomes, in SID I have 3 rows, that is 3 into 3 values in the name into 3 values in the login into 3 in age into 3 in GPA. So multiply all those, then we'll get 243. So there are 243 tuples are possible in the cardinality. But in a relation state, we may or may not require all these 243 tuples. According to the given condition, among these 243 tuples, we can extract only some of the tuples. We can just find subset of these 243 tuples. Then that 240 subset indicates relation state. So now here we have considered 3 tuples. So this indicates a current relation state. So now after considering the basics components of relational data model, so now we will see what are the characteristics of these relations. So now the relation has mainly 4 characteristics. First is about ordering of the tuples in a relation. We need to check whether the order of the tuples in the relation is important or not. Then considering ordering the values within a tuple. In each tuple, whether the order of values is important or not. Then we will see whenever we are entering the domain values, how to enter the values, then when can we leave the value as null. Then finally, the last characteristic of relation which we are going to discuss here is interpretation of the relation. So these are the four main characteristics of the relation. Then in detail about each characteristic, so we will discuss in our next session. Okay, thank you for watching the video. To go through the details of the characteristics of the relation, please subscribe to my channel and click on the bell button so that you will get the notification about my next session. So thank you.